have to get to those scenic destinations, but a lot of times that takes a lot out of a vehicle. It requires a lot. And usually our daily driver Corollas can't do that for us, right? Some of them can, most of them can't, right? So, why you should get a big rig or something, right? A big off-roader rig like this 4Runner, right? That'll solve all your problems. Well, also, it may be so expensive where you may have to sell your daily driver. I mean, especially for a new one like this. And whether you just can't afford it or you have something like I do, like a single car garage and driveway, or an HOA. I have the freedom of parking my car wherever the hell I want to, but sometimes HOAs are just so awful. Like, I used to live in an HOA, and it's like, guys, come on. It's Florida, okay? Give up already, right? It's Florida. We don't need an HOA in Florida. In Washington, D.C., sure, fine, have an HOA. This is Florida. If a homeless man will be, skiing down my road in the summertime with a water hose while drinking a Pepsi Cola, no HOA. I'm good. I'll park my car in my yard. I'll park my car in your yard if I want to, right? Relax, go away, right? So the point is, a lot of us just don't have the freedom to just buy a big off-roader rig or have the money to buy a big off-roader rig. So today I'm showing you the cheapest, most compact off-roader vehicles that you can buy for, a lot less amount of money than you would typically spend on something big and gigantic, but can still go to a lot of those same places. That's why I like the Prius, right? The more a car plays into of a certain thing, it gets worse at all the other things. So this Toyota may be great for off-roading. I only go off-roading maybe 0.01% of the time. And that's why I drive a Prius, because it's great for the other 99.99% of the time, right? That's just why I love it, right? That's why I drive a Prius and you probably don't, right? So, starting off is the Honda CR-V. Now, why would a Honda CR-V be on this list? Well, I think a lot of times people forget that SUVs like this weren't always pavement princesses, right? It's over the past few years that they've been pavement princessized. And not that that's a bad thing, right? SUVs are just adapting to the way people use them better, right? Sure, in the beginning, Becky may have liked that SUV because she can go anywhere, but now it just drives smoother on roads and gets better gas mileage, and she's happy with that. That's why we have crossovers, right? But initially, right before all the babification of our SUVs, things like the Honda CR-V... Whoa, wait a second. That makes more sense. Okay. I was going to say, that is not this car's interior. I have driven one of these. No. I was going to say, what did you do to it? Anyway, right, before all of the babification, these were actually pretty good off-roaders. I mean, this one's got tall ground clearance. The cloth seats may not be that durable, but overall, it's a very good car. Driving to work, it'll get better gas mileage than a big rig. And, it still has four-wheel drive. It can still go to most of the destinations you need it to go to. That plastic bumper isn't just for show. It's so that you don't get rock chips and stuff like that. Or if you need to bump another car out of the mud, it'll be fine with that. $7,000, that's perfect. For a 2006, it'll take you anywhere, it gets great gas mileage, and if someone's in your car, they don't feel out of place or something, right? The Toyota RAV4, another great example. This is personally my favorite generation of the RAV4. Now, this one is definitely more roadified than this one. Right, we can see that this one has the unpainted plastic bumper, the wild wheels. This one's still more of a mom van, but still it has excellent ground clearance, and it's proven off-road, though, right? These cars are generally good off-road, especially the V6s. They have a lot of power, right? They are also more gas-hungry, so keep that in mind when you're buying these. Side opening door, spare tire if you need it. These cars are just excellent. Like, if you can find one of these for cheap, that'll be great. This is a V6, so this is going to be more expensive. Again, you have those wheels. They're not chromified. They're not shiny. They're not for show. They're just good, durable wheels. You have a lot of storage space in the trunk, so you can take your groceries home from Heiden's or whatever, right? Still a very good vehicle, especially in 2024, right? The interior is still extremely durable after all of these years, right? These interiors have held up extremely well. All the plastics are still there. Everything's there. Just give it a wipe down with a Clorox wipe and it'll be fine, right? Dual zone climate control, sunroof. It has everything that you think you need, right? This car will be perfect off-road, and it'll be perfect for your daily driver, right? It may not be able to climb 90-degree angles, but it'll get there, right? As long as you don't want to see the top of Mount Everest and, you'll be fine. That's all I'm saying. This thing will be fine on dirt roads, right? The next car on this list is the Subaru Forester. Now, this gets kind of tricky. This one is a newer one, and this one is more roadified than the Subaru Forester is weird, right? Honda CR-V and Toyota both started off as like a real rugged off-roader. This one really did not. Even the earlier generations of the 90s had very low ground clearances. I actually think this was one of the most rugged generations of the Forester. That's like the Forester is just an unapologetically road SUV, and that's fine, right? The interior, it's great. It's a little bit weird shaped. That was what Subaru was doing around this time. Not bad. You have excellent storage space in the back. It'll fit everything. You spill something. You spill an entire crock pot of Swedish meatballs, you'll be fine, right? Definitely not relating to any recent events. Not a bad car. Essentially, the point is, this car would be great. It gets great gas mileage. You know, you can drive it in the city if you need to, but it'll be great for that one off-roading trip you have per year, right? These cars can all do more off-roady things than your average car. This is a child-friendly YouTube channel. Anyway, it can do all the things you need it to do, and it's, you know, gonna be looking fine doing it. This isn't an ugly car. This isn't a bad car. I would actually say this is a very nice car. So yeah, I would just say a 2010 Forester. If you're wondering why specifically 2010 and not the start of a generation, it's these wheels. They had really ugly wheels for the first, 4 years, and then they finally came out with these. I always like 5 lug nut, 5-spoke wheels. All my cars are going to be more what I like, you know? I think they all still apply to the situation here, right? It's not like I'm just showing you, a Prius because I like it, right? The Isuzu VehiCROSS. You may have seen this in that one Doug DeMuro video, and now you're probably thinking, you're off your rocker. But no, actually, this is great off-road. Those gigantic 19-inch wheels are still amazing to this day. The VehiCROSS is just an amazing vehicle. Now, yes, it does indeed have one of those GM-looking interiors that makes you feel like you're in middle and high school. That makes you feel like you're in a middle school bathroom with kids smoking right next to you. But no, the interior has a little bit to be desired, but overall the car is still great. Right, these cars are amazing. They last forever. That plastic bumper ain't for show. These will be great for off-roading. And that's what they're made for. I mean, look at it. Great approach and decline angles. They didn't give it those gigantic wheels because, you'll feel less bumps or anything. In fact, you will feel more bumps. They gave it those ginormous, gigantic wheels so that you can have more ground clearance. A lot of people like to just laugh at the VehiCROSS and point fingers at it. Ugly, which it is, right? We all have eyes here. But seriously, this is actually a great car for off-roading, right? Now, it may be annoying that the tire hangs down lower than the others, so if you get in a rear-end collision, you're more likely to cause more damage. That's definitely something to look into, but come on. If you nitpick every single car that I choose, okay, well, I'm really defensive today. The next car is the Land Cruiser. The yellow is beautiful. We've all loved the yellow. I love the yellow. You love the yellow. We all love the yellow. These cars are just amazing for off-road. They're just great, especially with a bumper bar like this. I mean, this is as close you can get as to a serious rig, right? And again, this gigantic, beautiful, car. It's only $11,000 for a car this big. This is like a nice car for $11,000. Like, this is almost Land Cruiser. I would say this is Land Cruiser, right? Land Cruisers nowadays have been kind of affected by what I call the Cadillac Escalade wave of giant features, awful off-roads, big wheels, except, the body hangs, when you have big wheels like this and the body only comes up about here on the wheel, that's good. But when you have big wheels and the body comes all the way down here, your ground clearance sucks and you just have really big, annoying, awful wheels to drive on, right? Again, the Prius has small wheels because it's comfortable, right? This is like if the Land Cruiser wasn't affected by any outside forces and it could just stay the same size forever with modern technology, kind of impossible, but hey, run with it. This is what it would look like. I guarantee it. It is so perfect. It is so beautiful. The 4-wheel drive system is great. They're just great cars, right? The tires, everything about it is amazing. You will love this car. I know people that storm chase in these. These cars will do anything you need them to do. This one's also been modded, right? It also has that, these and the front bumper bar. That's worth a lot, and yet it's still only $11,000. Remember, you have your VVTi variable valve timing V6 engine. Of course, you have your Tonka truck, big, heavy, manly doors. It's a Land Cruiser, effectively. Relax. The cloth interior is great. This car is great. It will last forever, right? These cars essentially last forever. They're very reliable. They're very great off-road. Now, this, would be the least adjusted car on this list, right? We're looking for something that can fit in your driveway and will be able to do the same tests as your daily driver. I would say this and the VehiCROSS are the least well-adjusted vehicles on this list. This is the craziest it will get. And the next one is probably my favorite. This just reminds me of the Jurassic Park SUVs for some reason. These cars are great. I'm just saying that right now. These old Lexuses for off-roading, you may think that they're, too fancy or too nice for off-roading. No, these things are amazing. If you shine the headlight, they look really nice. They're very easy to drive, and you have a very high seating position and gigantic windows. That's what I hate about new cars, these tiny little windows, like in the Hyundai Accent with the door, 70% of the entire side of the car is just the door on the two-door models. These are, bigger windows, but better visibility, and they're just better cars, right? I love this Lexus. This is probably the one that I would buy out of all these. This would be great. I would totally drive this to work every day, and it looks nice. A lot of these, as off-roaders, it's debatable. Like something like a Corolla, I think, could look pretty just because it's conventionally, symmetrical and has some tastefully done chrome. I think the chrome in this car is actually pretty nice. Chrome can look nice, in my opinion, as long as it's not gigantic slabs, right? Something like the FJ Cruiser. Is it pretty? No. Most people would say it's pretty ugly. In fact, I've seen this on a couple of ugliest cars lists. But it's pretty in the fact that it can do anything, as it's appealing, right? Its appealingness is beautification, essentially. The RX is beautiful, right? It's like that Corolla, that old, tiny chic, except it's still modern. It's like older luxury cars like Acuras, right? When they get to this age, they're just screaming for parts, right? They're screaming for parts. They're screaming for anyone. Oh, me! Ah! My transmission is good! They're still reliable, but you cannot beat in an older Lexus. And this just has the beauty of, it'll go on forever, and especially a clean one like this. I need to stop yapping. Essentially, these are the cars. So with that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to hear more of my incessant ramblings.